who's actually going to get the most out of a 15-gallon Airpot coffee brewer? Is it worth the price for a regular office that just needs a pot of joe for the morning, or does it belong in a high-traffic cafeteria? And if you're a home user who only makes 1 or 2 cups a day, should you even be looking at something this big? Those are the questions that keep most people up at night when they scroll through endless coffee maker listings. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first saw the Bunn 38700.0013 Axiom twin APS Airpot, my gut reaction was the same hesitation you probably feel. It's a massive piece of equipment, over 50 pounds, and it promises to brew and dispense up to 15 gallons of coffee without a break. That sounds impressive until you picture it on a cramped break room counter or imagine the logistics of moving it into a small office kitchen. The risk of buying a machine that ends up as a decorative slab rather than a workhorse is real, especially when the price tag sits in the mid-hundreds. So I dug into how people actually use these big-capacity brewers, what they need in a daily routine, and where the value truly comes from beyond the headline numbers. Let's start with the category itself. Commercial-grade coffee brewers like the Axiom Twin are built for volume, not for nuanced flavor profiles. They're meant to keep a steady stream of coffee flowing for an entire shift, a conference, or a catered event. The typical setup involves a water line or a large reservoir, a heating element that brings the water to the right temperature in a matter of minutes, and a drip system that fills a thermal air pot so the coffee stays hot for hours without a burner. In practice, you plug the unit in usually on a dedicated 120 or 240-volt circuit, fill the reservoir, load the coffee grounds, press start, and walk away while the machine does the heavy lifting. If you run a small office of 10 to 20 people, the Axiom Twin can be a game changer. Imagine a Monday morning when the whole team gathers for a quick stand-up. Instead of a single drip coffee maker sputtering out 1 cup at a time, you have a hot, ready-to-serve pot that can fill dozens of mugs in a few minutes. The Airpot's insulated design means the coffee stays at a drinking temperature for 3 to 4 hours without any reheating, which translates to less bitterness from over-extracted brew cycles. For a catering business that serves breakfast buffets, the ability to pull a full 15 gallons in under an hour can keep the line moving without bottlenecks. Those are the real-world scenarios where the machine shines. Now, who should walk away from this purchase? First, the average home user. If your coffee ritual consists of a single pour-over or an espresso shot, the Axiom Twin is overkill. The sheer size, over 50 pounds out of the box, means you'll need at least 2 people to lift it onto a countertop, and the 15-gallon capacity will sit half full most of the time, wasting energy and taking up valuable floor space. Second, anyone who values precise brew temperature control or wants to experiment with different roast profiles will be disappointed. The Axiom Twin runs on a standard commercial heating element that aims for consistency, not customization. If you're the type who tweaks brew ratios, water hardness, or wants a programmable pre-infusion, you'll find the machine's controls very basic. Let's talk practical strengths. The first thing reviewers notice is how quickly the brewer can fill the Airpot. In a test run, the 15-gallon unit hit the full mark in about 45 minutes, which is faster than most smaller commercial brewers I've seen. That speed matters when you're feeding a crowd of 30 to 40 people who all want their caffeine fix before a meeting. The second strength is durability. Bunn has a reputation for sturdy commercial equipment, and the Axiom Twin is built in the United States with a heavy-gauge stainless steel housing that can survive the occasional bump in a busy kitchen. The third advantage is simplicity. There are only a handful of buttons: power, start, and a basic on-off switch. No menu navigation, no Wi-Fi, no app updates. For a breakroom manager who just wants plug it in and go, that minimalism is a relief. Every strength has a flip side, and the Axiom Twin's weaknesses are worth spelling out. The weight, as mentioned, makes installation a chore. Most customers will need a service cart or a pair of strong hands to get it onto a countertop, and the footprint is large enough to dominate a small break area. The power requirement can also be a stumbling block. While the unit supports both 120V and 240V, You need to make sure your space has the appropriate outlet, otherwise you'll have to call an electrician, adding to the overall cost. Another practical downside is cleaning. The large water reservoir and the drip basket are accessible, but because you're dealing with 15 gallons of coffee, residue can build up if you don't run a thorough cleaning cycle after.